Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the middle of a boss fight. Behold the incredible power of the Jedi. Look, this game is here, Ross. This is the kind of game I would have no real problems with if I was just kind of mindlessly playing it. And honestly, that's sort of an insult, if I'm being very blunt about it. And you know what? I'm okay with that. And I am not okay with that. Oh my god, these frickin' fights. I'm actually tempted to just go grind my face off. Oh no, it's a decent first game, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem here. Maybe I just like good games too much. You know? And I know that sounds like a weird statement, but no, I kind of mean that. I have encountered so many good games across so many genres, across so much of gaming for so many years, that even a game that's merely, you know, acceptable just kind of makes me go, ugh, because it is an acceptable game. And as Ross just points out, it's still a first game, and the overwhelming majority of first games are not what you'd call engaging. They have promise. Promise doesn't make them good. Oh, absolutely, Ross. You've won the battle, but not the war. The river is still dry. Yeah, we didn't even kill him. They were searching for the ring. Let's find a way to remove the rock. Zog is also my enemy. Let me help you fight him. Ooh. Happy New Year, Scion. So Scion, real quick. Several times you have donated towards Warhammer Mark of Chaos Battle March. So the first time you donated for it, which was over a month ago now, I was like, alright, jot it in the maybe section, go, look it up, figure it out. Turns out, I couldn't get it running. And I was like, ah, damn. So I went and I double-checked the veto list to make sure to add it to the veto list, and it was already on the veto list. Now, I'm not blaming, but do me a favor, and this is true for everybody. Do me a favor and check the veto list before you want to add a game, because I tend to forget what's on that list too, as I just demonstrated. So you have 2 donations to put towards something other than Warhammer Mark of Chaos Battle March, please. And thank you. And thank you, Ojunix. Always appreciate the sub. Profist. I will put that towards Persona 4, Golden, Grim Fandango, and the Resident Evil block. I mean, the problem is, so I've always been in favor of the shotgun approach to gaming licensing, and I stand by that statement. But the problem is, the detriment for doing that is that a whole lot of games are made by people who may or may not know what they're doing with regards to making games. And those games, as a consequence, may or may not be playable 10 or 20 years down the road. By the way, the walkthrough I was using, which I glanced ahead at briefly, flat out says, you should go grind at this point in the game. And it's like, oh. See you around, Unix. Have a good day at work. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of with you on that, Seth. I didn't feel like I needed to, Papaniques. Admittedly. But if I have to, I'll put it there. Like, I don't know. Honestly, didn't think anybody would donate towards it. Oh. Hold has been learned. Yeah, we need to hit level 13 at this point in the game. We're currently level, what? What are we at? 11. That's not terrible. We could go gain 2 levels really quick, right? Ah! Actually, yeah, they really lean into the tribes concept in the Breath of Fire series, Crazy Norse. Or clans, as they call them in the early ones. That hit me for 50. That's not a small amount of things. No. I'm just gonna flat out veto that sign. No, absolutely not. No. I'm not doing an off-camera review like that. That's not happening. I'm sorry, but no. On what, Love Balthazar? I'm sorry. I can actually tell you how the majority of the Dragon Clan lost its power. Theater thing. Do you mind clarifying what you're talking about, Love Balthazar? Yes, someone has played FF6 now, and therefore can comment thereupon. Oh, the Lorca Theater is done. Dead. Nuked. Burnt. Wrecked. Destroyed. And never coming back. Any questions? Also, you should go watch the FF1 rewrite and the FF2 rewrite if you haven't yet. Hang on. I'm falling behind on answering questions. Okay, so, I've heard that before, Lord Haramont. So that's because that's the forbidden list, Lord Haramont. You're looking for the veto list. Now, I will admit, I've never actually added the veto list to the site. The way you find the veto list is you type !veto into chat, as Trihexia just did. I could add it to the site somewhere, but the forbidden list is different. The forbidden list is kind of the duh, for lack of a better way to put it. I'm never going to cover mobile games. I'm never going to cover porn. I'm never going to cover stuff that causes me physical pain. That's it. That's the forbidden list. The veto list is a little bit different. The veto list is games I've had trouble getting a hold of, or games I've had trouble getting streamable, like is with the Warhammer game that Cyan was just wanting to add. Or games that I simply said no to for whatever reason, such as the God of War 5 Valhalla DLC. I love how Flare is like a dinky little spell in Breath of Fire as opposed to being like the super nuke. Okay, so that's no, Scion. Last time I'm saying it. Sorry, I have a headache. It's not obvious. I laid down and I have a headache. It's because I have a crick in my neck. Hi, Subacom. I don't understand your question, Darkness. So let me do something else instead. Because Lord Haramont brings up a good point. I should put the veto list on. I don't have an image for the veto list. Do I? No, I don't. I should make a veto. I should do anything other than play this game right now. It was severely argued that Hunipop does not qualify as porn, And as a direct consequence, no, we haven't cheated yet. As a direct consequence of that argument, that's actually why it's there. So that's why that's there. I don't even know what that is, Scion, so off camera, I will look up and see what that is. The Coffin of Andy and Laylee. Hey, Inquisitor Sarah, I need to talk to you, too. Class of 09. Is that a separate game? Class of 09, the re-up. I'm going to write them down as if they're separate games. I'm just going to assume. Yes! So I'm not going to review SMRPGR. So if you want to put that towards something else, please let me know. Baby Bear, I am working. What's up? Okay. My head is just killing me. All right. What was I doing? Veto list. Veto list. Should have refilled my water while I was upstairs. Whatever. Too late now. You can put it towards a new game, yes. Depends on what the game is, though, and I always reserve veto rights. That's how that works. I've already taken, honestly, probably too many pain pill things, so no, would be the answer to that. What's a game that I've already vetoed? Can't get is something that could be removed. That has happened, actually. You know what? Hogwarts Legacy. That's a good pick. That is the epitome of a veto game. That is a great example. Thank you for that, Lord Harriman. I have not had a chance to look at Gerudo XL yet, no. I have it downloaded, but I haven't actually had a chance to look at it. I know, Trihexy, I'm sorry, I'm falling behind on questions at this point. So I'm just... Because I suck. I don't even know how to answer that. Yeah, the overly expensive GameCube and Wii games are on that list, too. That's a shame, but that's the can't get variety of veto. I swear I'll play this game at some point. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Just had to make a new emblem for the website on the fly. Yeah, I can veto something for any reason whatsoever. That's why it's called the veto list. But generally speaking, there are two broad categories for why I veto a thing. One, see you around, Inquisitor Sarah. I'll talk to you at some point in the future. Although, actually, you're going to add it to Dragon Quest Monsters 3, so I'll jot that down. Pretty sure that one's going to be a yes. Pretty sure. The two most common reasons why I veto something are because I have trouble getting hold of a legal copy of the game, or because I have trouble getting the game streamable. Because that happens all the time. Like, that's a normal thing. Could someone type veto in chat really quick for me, please? Please, please. It took 3 attempts, but we made it. I mean, it just didn't really... This is going to sound strange, might come up, but it didn't seem necessary. Nobody has ever mentioned it being linked on the website until today. So I didn't link it to the website. That's all. Nope. Oh, that's why. That makes sense. See you around, Inquisitor Sarah. Having said that, okay, so now that I'm not distracted, I've never even heard of that Game Geek. Which is my answer to you. If it's a game I've never heard of, I'll have to look into this, and I'll have to look at this, I'll have to look at this. My head. Alright, so, the other reasons I could veto a game, because screw the game, for whatever reason. I don't really need to have a defined reason to want to shut down a game, to be perfectly honest with you. I usually try to give said reasoning, But the point is, like, if there's a game that pisses me off for any particular reason, or I feel like is a waste of my time, then that's what we call the executive veto. That's just gone. Because, screw it, it's a waste of my time, or screw it, one of the two. The aforementioned Hogwarts Legacy, oh, that's cute, would be a perfect example of a game that I vetoed because it's Hogwarts Legacy, and that's my reason. If you get to something like, say, like I said, the Valhalla thing that I just vetoed for God of War 5, it's because I legitimately feel like it's a waste of my time, and I don't particularly feel like wasting that time. I feel like there's other games that I've vetoed for the purposes of vetoing, because they're just games I actively don't want to play or don't want to touch. Of course, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Arcanum. So actually, Arcanum is vetoed for two reasons. One is streamability. It is possible to get Arcanum streamable, but I also have a little bit of a side rule, and that side rule is, if I have to go through extra hoops in order to get the game onto camera, then that's not a game that's probably worth the time and effort to do so. So Arcanum has trouble being played, and has severe trouble being streamed. Now, there's a fan patch, but, based on the rule I just mentioned, you should understand then that if there's a fan patch, then that is not a game that I consider acceptable. Like, if I have to go out of my way to do that kind of thing just to get a game into playable format, we have a problem. Sense make? This is partially because of personal preference, but it's also partially because of experience. Anytime we have streamed a game that we needed to use a third-party program to get runnable or streamable, then there's some problems, and it tends to lead to issues down the road. And honestly, I'd just rather skip all that nonsense. Especially since from a business-like perspective, that means that, and this has happened before, we might run into a situation where we get a game, it's like, okay, there's this game, and it's been funded. That means people have put money towards it, people have put interest towards it, time and effort is there, it's on the schedule, I have committed to it. As in, I have actually flat out said, as a business person, that I am going to go ahead and do this game. And then we have issues getting it playable, and then I have to just twist my brain into a knot trying to get the game into playable format, because now I have to. And I've run into that problem more than once. So, no, we just nope out of that kind of thing from now on. Now I know what you're thinking. Laura, you're playing this on an emulator. Doesn't count. Just really, really bluntly, emulation doesn't count. In fact, emulation is actually mandatory at this point. Even though I do have access to, for example, a Wii, and a GameCube, and an N64, and a PS2, and a PS1, and all sorts of other things, and I have the conversion box to get into the computer, once again, experience has taught me that it's much more stable and much more reliable to go ahead and just emulate these games instead of going ahead and trying to use original hardware. So, third-party programs are unacceptable unless it's for emulation, in which case it is mandatory. This also applies to older DOS games. So older DOS games are pretty much mandatory, you know, DOSBox, right? Oh god, Quest 64. Well, actually, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines was unplayable without that third-party patch. So, no, Microbots, it's the exact opposite of what I just said. So for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. A game like that would be vetoed under the current system because of the experience we had playing that game. Also, Dawn of War 1 would qualify under that particular problem. And also, not a lot of people remember this, but you remember the garbage fire that was Space Marine? Because I do. Yeah, DOS games are extraordinarily streamable. DOS games are so streamable. It's a joke, getting that stuff into streamable format. I'm glad you liked the stream. I am, legitimately. It was an interesting game to go through. But it is an example of the kind of thing that we no longer do because of the experience that we had doing it. Happy New Year's! Exclamation mark. I am, of course, streaming, comma, and hopefully people are enjoying it despite the headache I'm having, period. I'm surprised you got up at midnight last night, comma. I didn't last that long, exclamation mark. Yeah, I'm an old man. I went to bed early. Anyways, I almost nuked Space Marine because of the issues we were having with the game. That was so frustrating. That was... like, it's making my headache worse right now, remembering the issues we had with that game. Oh, man. So we actually tried to get Silent Hill 2 into streamable format by using emulation. And that's fine, and that's easy. But there's one other little requirement. And this is also why we're not reviewing the Fire Emblem games on the GameCube and the Wii. Because a requirement I have, which I stand behind firmly, is I need to actually have a legal copy of the game. I need to own the game that I'm streaming. I own this game. I bought this game on the SNES. It's right over here. I could pull up the cartridge if I felt like bothering to do so. Right? Have you looked at how expensive Silent Hill 2 is nowadays? That's another rule I tend to have. Generally speaking, if I have to spend, and there are exceptions to this, but generally speaking, if I have to spend more than $60 buying a game for the stream, that's probably the kind of thing I'm just going to go ahead and say no to. Yeah, PS2 and GameCube games, and DS games actually, all have the same exact problem, and all came out at the same era. Hey, here we go. Oh, come back. And yeah, that's also why we haven't reviewed any Dreamcast games, and the only Genesis games I've reviewed are the ones they released on Steam. That's a good point. This game's actually on the Switch. That's a valid point, Pillars know. So yeah, this game's easy. I technically own this game twice. Well, then I would probably call the cops, Mike Kamada, because I don't give out my address. That's a good question, Nexus of Concordia, and if we ever run into that issue, I will let you know. But at the moment, we haven't, and I don't anticipate it being an issue anytime soon. Damn it, Eternus! No! Oh my god, it's up to 400? Jesus. But yeah, sorry, I know you're talking about the old Silent Hills in general, Scion, but to be very, very clear, the specific game I'm talking about is Silent Hill 2. Let me explain why. So one of the rules we've had for a bit now, thanks to Scion of the Emperor, is horror games in general are now vetoed, just across the board. Now, that's not a hard rule. None of these are hard rules. But the general idea is, if it's a porn game, if it's a porn game, if it's a painful game, if it's a mobile game, or if it's a horror game, we're just not going to stream them. That's just not my bag. It's not a good time for anybody. Nobody really wants to see that. You get it. There are exceptions, and that's why I keep mentioning Silent Hill 2. Because Silent Hill 2 was a fairly significant game historically. It was a game that is, yeah, it's exactly, it has cultural significance. It has relevance beyond the fact that it is just a horror game. So, I was absolutely looking into Silent Hill 2 to get that streamable, and I failed because of getting a hold of the damn game. Here we go. Come with me. No, no, no. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. I wish to eat your delicious meat. No! Oh, why? Why? Okay, Eternus. Why would you do this to me? Hang on. This really hurts. I have a crick in my neck. Yeah, I would actually agree. Believe it or not, the original Amnesia, which I believe is on the list, the first Amnesia game, to be very clear, not Pigs, the first Amnesia game. That one's probably a culturally significant game that I would probably bend the rule for. Eternus, why would you do this to me? How many was that? My goodness, Eternus, stop giving me money. I think we decided to allow Echo 2 or Echo 1 or whatever because it's on like it's on Steam, right? Is FNAF culturally significant enough to play? No. Five Nights at Freddy's, Lord Haramont. Maybe Crazy Norse? Like, I don't know why it's not letting me. Also, isn't FNAF on the veto list? Yeah, FNAF... No. I could absolutely give a more in-depth, thought-out reasoning there. I don't feel like it's actually worth me doing so. The answer is no. Okay, so, so far, Bo's been interesting, because he does as much damage as we do, but he has nothing else going for him. So he's like a worse us. I mean, for spy stuff, Zachdaf? Probably Miranda. I did not see your question, Evo. I demand that you repeat it. I demand! Screaming. Okay. Let's talk about the game we're playing for one brief second. I don't know and I don't know, respectively. Victor. Oh my god, why is everyone asking me questions right now? Stop texting me. Hey, Evo. I hope they all go without any particular incident, period. By the way, Turnus, you didn't see what you want to put that towards. It's just... My brain's in, like, third gear, and I'm getting bombarded with questions. Hang on. The stone robot can move the rock. Look for the robot's secret in Agua. Okay, well, let's go do that, then. Listen, Nexus of Concordia. So the question was... Well, I'm going to ask you the same question then, Eva. The question was, why have the dragons slowly lost their power over the years? So, a few centuries ago, there was this... She calls herself a goddess. It's probably worth noting she's not. In fact, she herself is uncertain if deities even exist in this setting. But this very powerful mage, let's put it simply, decided, you know what? I'm bored. And so she started a genocidal war between within the Dragon Clan, a civil war, specifically. And that... right, I need to empty the river first. So that was cool. Not really great, not really fantastic. And her name was Miria, by the way. She's the main villain of Breath of Fire 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3 are connected, by the way, for those of you not aware. All direct sequels to each other. So, she was bored. She said, go kill each other. And she started this civil war. And the two, the Dragon Clan kind of split up into two separate factions. These so-called Light Dragons and the Dark Dragons. You might think, the Dark Dragons are evil, right? No. There's no significance behind the name whatsoever. They just both happen to be called different things. That's it. Thank you, Scott Kavar. And thank you for reminding me, Bragwin. Do I consider Miria evil? Yes. Starting a genocidal war because you're bored probably qualifies as evil. And I know you're asking about Breath of Fire 3. We'll get there. Thank you, Scott Kavar. I apologize. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed because I'm still kind of tired and I have just a terrible headache. I'm doing my best. I apologize. I'm doing my best. Dragon Quest 4, Dragon Quest 5, Dragon Quest 6. That's going to be a fun run. By the way, Turnus, I still haven't seen what you want to put it towards. Oh, there we go. Armored Core. And FF16, and... I've already taken too many. I need to not take any more. Would Fatal Frame be culturally significant enough? That's a good question. Hey, those of you in chat, have you ever heard of Fatal Frame? So, hang on, Evo. Jesus, so impatient. So impatient. That's more yeses than I thought. I'm actually legitimately shocked that you guys have heard of Fatal Frame. I'm really actually shocked about that. So what ended up happening is this whole nightmare, Civil War thing was going on for entirely too long. And after a while, several heroes rose up. 8 of them? 7 of them? 7 of them. 7 heroes rose up and were like, hold up. Maybe we shouldn't be killing each other for the amusement of someone. And so this hero and their friends, their party, decided to go out and they decided to fight against the goddess and defeat her and seal her away with the goddess keys. Hence, Myria was sealed away. Now, the Dark Dragons kind of wandered off to do their own thing down at Scand in the southern continent. The Light Dragons were like, all right, we've got an idea. Now, hear me out. Bear with me. If we give up all of our power, that'll make all of the problems of the world better. Because as we all know, power just makes you evil and makes bad things happen. Because power is bad. You should never have power. Otherwise, you'll let a little pink girl in a... Oh, sorry. For those of you not aware of the reference, Star Trek has this hard-on for the second that anybody gains power, even if it's like a minuscule amount of like telepathic power or something, they instantly become an evil dick because power corrupts. And I know what you're going to say, but power does corrupt. It's not like your brain chemistry instantly is like, evil. But that's how they always portray it, and it's really, really dumb. God damn it. It's also ignoring the fact that I don't agree that power corrupts, but that's neither here nor there. So... The Light Dragons said, power corrupts, and they all went out of their way to not practice their powers, and they deliberately crossbred with other clans, because all of these clans, this is great, by the way, in the Breath of Fire series, whether you're a fox person, a winged person, a dragon, a plant, let's see, what else? We've got a dog, like all of these people across all these species, the tribes, they can all crossbreed perfectly. There's no issues. Yeah, the horses, yep. The tiger cat people, the monkeys, the frogs. No issues with crossbreeding. So, the Light Dragons spent generations crossbreeding to kind of breed their power out. Meanwhile, the Dark Dragons did pretty much the exact opposite of that, and they sat back there thinking, okay, we're going to figure out some way here. We're going to go ahead and try to do this thing where we're going to sit in a corner and pretend we're World War I Germany, post-World War I Germany. And lo and behold, that didn't work out for them. And so then they decided, fine, screw it. We're going to go conquer everything in order to gain the resources we need to be a prosperous power again, and to bring prosperity to the Dark Dragons. And that's pretty much the lead-up / plot of Breath of Fire 1. Does that answer your question, Triaxia? By the way, I could be misremembering, but I'm actually pretty sure that who is in your front row actually changes your encounter rate in this game. I don't know what you're talking about. The Belkans would have nothing to do with this, Loner. Okay, so visuals of this game. I'm kind of torn on the visuals of this game, because there is definitely some good animations, especially in this, right? In the combat, in the combat screens. There's a lot more detail, a lot more animation. It's clearly where they spent most of their time on the visuals. On the grid, which is this, not so much. There is a little bit of effort to flesh out some of the zones and some of the tile sets. But this looks vanilla, honestly. If you told me, think of a generic JRPG, this is honestly one of the first games that would come to my mind visually. But only for the non-battle sequence. I have to keep stressing that, because the battle sequences are pretty legit. And that's going to be true in 2 as well. I mean, look at that. That's not, I mean, it's kind of gross, but, you know. This is 1993, Scott Kibar. Excuse me. I do, of course, want your opinion, and if you don't tell... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay, hang on. Yeah, it earth keyed me, and I was not ready for that, let me tell you what. You dick. Die. In a fire. The monster left life! I remember Nina being really subpar. Like, I never used her in 3. Except when I had to. Then again, I always wanted to use Momo, and that only worked out about half the time, because I didn't understand how her mechanic worked. Really low on health. Or mana, excuse me. I mean, fair enough, young dragon. Okay, so now hang on. Let me pull up the question queue, because I know I'm behind now. No, like I said, I didn't know that at the time. Now I'm aware of the mechanics of the game, and it's like, oh, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Okay, so, a game that is culturally significant that might be worth covering that I don't want to. Wizardry 1. Pretty sure I could get Wizardry 1, you know, playable and streamable. It's old enough that we've probably got that locked in. Also Might and Magic 1. Or Ultima 1. All 3 of those games for pretty much the exact same reason, too. No, I haven't. What's been going on, Scion? Sorry, I've been knee-deep in rewrites. Speaking of which, Dark Day asked me a question, but I'm not sure if Dark Day is still there anymore. Because I fell way behind on questions. Oh, yeah. Also, Arena and Daggerfall. While we're on the subject. Alcabeth, Ultima, what's the difference? Pillars of Snow. Although, lol, forgetting the reference. Oh, hang on. There we go. And that's the meat. That's the hunting mechanic in a nutshell. Interesting. Hang on. So, Dark Day asked about the rewrite. If it's okay, I'm going to pause that for a second. So I'm going to talk about that for a minute. So let's see. Most culturally significant work to be a lamentation. Honestly, yeah, Alcabeth and or Wizardry 1 or anything like that would probably qualify. Those games suck. But they also really opened the door on what would become PC computer gaming for years, and a huge number of other games directly pulled inspiration from Wizardry, Ultima, and Might and Magic, including Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, while we're on the subject. Yeah, the original unmodded Dune would probably also qualify for Lamentation status, if we're being honest with ourselves. There's some issues in that game. But, once again, very significant game, and pretty much opened the door on what would eventually become Warcraft, Command & Conquer, etc. Thank you, Nemesis. Sorry, that was me stretching my neck. Always appreciate. Give me a second, I will jot that down. Oh. sorry, Evo. They keep giving me donations. I'm so sorry. Warcraft 1 will probably be, well, maybe not lamentation, but it'll absolutely be a net negative game. No question. I look forward to reviewing it someday. Someday. We'll get there. Hero Shooter Center was canceled. Pharaoh didn't perform. Oof. Interesting. Well, fingers crossed either way. I did actually, Evo. I'm gonna... You're gonna... Ah! God dang it. Age of Empires 2 absolutely qualifies as culturally significant. Pretty much in the exact same breath as StarCraft and Warcraft 3. Those are probably the three big ones when it comes to RTSs. Now, Age of Empires 2 has a modern re-release, so that's the one we'll be playing for that. Oops. Right. Yeah. Hang on. Favorite point-and-click adventure game? I was actually asked this just yesterday because we were playing Untitled Goose Game. And I'm going to give you the same answer now that I did then. Like, I can't really think of a point-and-click adventure game that I consider actually good. And I know that's sort of, like, not great. What the heck? But I stand by it. Most point-and-click adventure games that I remember fondly, I do because of sand before water, for lack of a better way to put that. I used to play a lot of sand before. I used to play a lot of point-and-click adventure games too. I've never even heard of it. Sign. You keep asking me about games I've never even heard of. I don't know. Yeah, The Mystery of the Druids, let's be very clear, is a bad game. Let's be fundamentally clear about that. It's fun to meme on, if you don't actually have to play it, but the game sucks. Hang on. Is he... And then... Here we go. We need to talk to her. There it is. So, like many other older JRPGs, you have to talk to a specific NPC in order to be able to progress. And I had to talk to her. That's what I was missing. Now I can move forwards. Although, I still don't have something. And that's because the game... Oh my god, seriously? Okay, hang on. So you asked about the rewrite. Let me read your exact question rather than presuming your statement. Do I do the rewrites for fun, to try and improve the story and writing, or simply because I can? Yes. I think yes is the correct answer to all of those questions. So, first of all, I'm one of those weird, stupid, dumb idiots who needs a bit of creativity in my life. Creative outlet, put specifically. If I don't have some way to be creative, it bothers me. It's something I would consider a need. In addition to that, so that's the first part. The second part is I love the franchise and I've always wanted to put my own stamp on it. And in fact, the rewrites are something of a blueprint for eventual remakes I want to make someday, which I've been putting some plans into how to do that. Damn it. Whatever. So that's answer number 2. But answer number 3 is because I'm interested in it. So, this is the kind of thing that I've noticed some people either get or some people don't. Like, just straight up. And if you don't get it, that's fine. There's no judgment here. But some people just like to do their own take on a work. That's why fan fiction exists. If you've ever had the thought, man, I wish I could write a story set in such and such, like Star Wars or Star Trek or Chrono Trigger or Breath of Fire or whatever, then you understand that particular urge. If you've never had that thought, then you're probably not going to understand that. Does that make sense? This is also related to the why don't you just write your own story thing. Now, there's actually a two-parter when it comes to writing your own story. First, it's often such a dismissive insult, isn't it, whenever I see people say that. I need to hide in a box. The first side of things is that if I was to start releasing extant videos, nobody would watch those. I mean, there would probably be a few people who are actually sitting down and watching them, but there's just not enough pre-existing interest. People will only watch stuff they know they're interested in. That's not really a dig, that's just a statement of fact. I'm pretty sure I've already talked to this guy, so we'll talk to him again here. Okay, sure. Okay. Let's see if this guy says anything for us. Okay. Anyways, so that's the first problem. Familiarity effect is something of a plague on human society. No offense, but it is. If it's the one of the biggest reasons why Hollywood has been circling the drain for 2 decades now, is because not only because executives will only greenlight stories that they know are going to sell, but in general, people only go to see a movie if it's from an IP that they know that they're interested in. And yeah, this also gets into nostalgia baiting too. Don't mistake me, there's nothing wrong with a good new entry in a pre-existing work. See Metroid Dread for a good example of that. But that's the point, isn't it? Metroid Dread was a damned good game that happened to be a Metroid game. How many other things can you think of in games or shows or movies that have sucked in the last couple of years that still probably sold well because of the fact that they were a such and such game, movie, or show? Right? That's just the downside of familiarity effect in a nutshell. Well, I say the last couple of years because there's been a lot of that the last couple of years. Like a lot. But the other side of that, I don't know, I don't know how to actually properly explain it. Again, if you don't get it, you don't get it. I want to write a Final Fantasy story. I want to put my fingers in it. I want to look at the pre-existing story and say, I could do that, but I could do that in my own way. My own spin on it, right? This is something I personally have a very strong desire for, and it's one of the reasons why I am not exactly in favor of copyright law, is the way I'm going to phrase that. Because copyright law, as it is currently written in the United States and Japan, is very anti-take something and do your own take on it. You know, as the example I always like to use there is, if I wanted to do my own Star Wars film, sucks to be me. I mean, it probably wouldn't be good, but I'd still like to do it. Correct, Logue. Don't mistake me, I love writing the extant too. But, like, I can have my cake and I can eat it too, right? Like, I can have both things. Anyways, I hope that's a sufficient answer for you, Dark Day. It probably isn't, and I do apologize. Aren't I worried that I would screw it up and taint the original creator's vision? No. And no. But those are two separate answers. So, am I worried that I'll screw it up? No. I am legitimately... I'm a good writer. If you think that's egotistical, that's acceptable. I can't argue against it. But it's still true. I am a good writer. Second answer. Do I think it'll taint the original creator's vision? I don't give a flying damn what the original creator's vision is. I couldn't give a goddamn what they wanted for their work originally, because that's not what I'm working on. I'm working on my take on that. That's ignoring the fact that we don't know what the creator's original vision was, and the creator's original vision is still right over there. If you don't like the Final Fantasy II rewrite, that's fine. You can go play FF2 right now on a lot of things. You can play it on your phone, on PC and on console. It is not a lost thing to the ages, right? So, rewrite Lord of the Rings? I actually thought about that. But the truth is, and there is one final answer for Dark Day's question, I have no passion for rewriting Lord of the Rings. I have no desire to. I legitimately would rather rewrite Mega Man than I would Lord of the Rings. Now, it's not because Lord of the Rings is better or worse than Mega Man. It's just that... Yeah, good point, Dakota. It's just that I have more personal investment in Mega Man than I do in Lord of the Rings. Does that make sense? Right about Tom Bombadil. Once upon a time... Actually, it reminds me of a meme. Oh god, what's his name? The Overcreator, Anu, or whatever his stupid name is showing up, and he's like, "Behold, I have created this planet and all its things." And one of his followers is like, "Who's that guy over there?" And he's pointing to Tom Bombadil. And Bombadil is just over there going, "Da, da, da, da." The guy, and Anu's Aluvinar, thank you. Aluvinar is just like, I don't even know. He was already here. Just ignore him. Just ignore him. That's Tom Bombadil in a nutshell. He'll go away. He'll go away. Oh god, that is a theory I've heard, Von Falkenstein. Of course, I've heard a lot of theories about him, so... I mean, that's valid, Dark Day, and I can't even argue against that. But I suppose that's the dual edge, right? Like, you can have all of the good and all of the bad, or none of the good and none of the bad. And no judgment either way. It doesn't even say. It doesn't even say how much experience I need to level. This game. I prefer all of the good and all of the bad. I prefer the shotgun method, like I was just talking about with Warhammer. I prefer having that just god-awful romance fix, in addition to being able to, you know, actually do the rewrites, do the Final Fantasy rewrites. Or the Diablo rewrite. It's okay, I know exactly who Tom Bombadil is. He's some drunk who fell down by the river one day and bonked his head, and he's been having a severe schizophrenic breakdown ever since. There you go. That's who Tom Bombadil is. I have ruined him forever. You're welcome. How is it so far, Dakota? Yes, we're going to do a complete rewrite of Robotech. No, exactly, Young Dragon. And again, that's just my take on that. I would rather we have the availability of having something like the Lies of P than not. That's kind of what I was expecting, Dakota. I've never even heard of them, Scion. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Do you want me to pause the stream? Because I'm gonna pull this stream right over. Yeah, let me look at something really quick. Give me a second. I'm testing something. Listen, Arspruce, all I'm saying, I'm going to drive this stream right into the Grand Canyon. Alright. Damn. Yep, nope. I legitimately do not know how much experience I need to level. Alright, whatever. Let's pull the stream brakes. Yeah. Let's look this up. Let's look this up. What is this? What is this? Okay, so... Hang on. Coffin... Oh god, I wrote it down somewhere. Hang on. I hate that music. I mean, it's not bad music. I'm just tired of hearing it. Fresh reminder, this music came out the same year that this game came out. Same developer, too. Okay, so the first thing I noticed immediately is the Coffin of Andy and Laylee is an early access game. And there's always that little asterisk of, this is an early access game. So, you know, FYI. So, even at a glance, what I see here is it's bleak, it involves incest, and cannibalism. So I'm going to go ahead and say no to that one. Let's look up these other ones you mentioned. It's also early access. And that really is, like, that is a massive asterisk. Generally speaking, I always caution against adding early access games to the list, because that might fall off the list. And if it falls off the list, all those donations go poof. And that has happened before. More than once. The other ones were... Class of 09. Yeah, so far, we're up to a grand total of 1 early access game that we've been fine with, and that is Baldur's Gate 3. Just go ahead and put him aside, Eva. Okay. Class of 09 is a rejection sim where you play the girl with unlimited social leverage. This game contains explicit criminal acts, such as drugs, substance abuse, homicide, physical assault, sexual assault, fraud, and self-harm. Well, it's not early access. One of the options in gameplay is either go to a concert or go home and kill yourself. Trying to find the other one. There it is, the re-up. There it is. I'm guessing same thing, right? Fully voiced! Oh, Jesus, okay. I'm going to be very honest. I don't like the ad campaign. Do you play video games, and then it shows a picture of Mario, who is racist, and it says he is racist towards Italian Americans? Or are you a true Sigma and play Class of '09, where there's people who are not racist towards Italian Americans? And I get that that's a parody, but that's not what I would call the kind of thing that's going to sell me on your game. Hang on. Self-harm, pornography, suicide, drug use, bigotry, sexual assault, and drug trafficking. All characters 18 plus. Very important. I'm gonna go and veto those, I think. I don't think that I'm your guy for that. Someone type veto in chat really quick, please. Please, please. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's another one. Animal Crossing, the original, was vetoed. Not for the reason you'd think, just because it would be a terrible stream game. Something I stand behind, by the way. Make polemic take great again. Look, I've given my extremely polemic thoughts on suicide many times. I'm not shy about that. I actually have to remind myself every now and again to be more quiet about it because it can genuinely bother some people. I do apologize for that. I am not trying to be edgy or to bug anybody about that. It's just such a banal topic for me. Like, I've been dealing with suicide since I was 14. Okay. It's sortable, Dark Day. On purpose. Sigma Palace Stage 1, Ross. Also, you just lost 2 Mega Man points, just so you know. Yeah, no, it's specifically sortable. It is out of order because it's in the order I put it in, because I'm not going to manually sort that crap. But it is designed to be sortable, so you can sort it by the reason it's been vetoed, or by the name of the game in question, to make it a little bit easier to parse. Almost all the tables on the website are sortable, for obvious reasons. Harvest Moon, I think, would be okay to stream. Although, ironically, Harvest Moon mostly would be okay because it has so much less time in it. Like, you can beat Harvest Moon inside of a day if you know what you're doing. Whereas Animal Crossing, we could be playing for 2 weeks and not get anywhere. Does this game have better graphs than Secret of the Stars? Yes. It's one of the first things I pointed out, actually. How do you get Mega Man points back? Sorry, Scion. If you want, I will refund you that donation. I have no problems doing that. Yeah, if we ever get a highlight reel of this game, which we won't because he's still working on the Mario ones, it'll be of just me sitting here not playing the game. Yeah, quick, name your favorite Mega Man weapon, Ross. Any Mega Man weapon. No, I agree. The menuing is just aggro. It's why I keep using Auto Battle, because Auto Battle is less irritating, even if it is slower. Oh, let's not even get it started on inventory. Leaf Shield! That's a good one. Storm Eagles is a great pick. Storm Eagle's weapon is the Metal Blade of Mega Man X1. Like, absolutely, hell yeah. Honestly, there's so many good Mega Man weapons, it's kind of hard for me to pick just one. Because holy crap. Mega Man is well known for having good weapons. Hadouken doesn't count. Oh, sorry. No, No, sorry, comma. I'm actually streaming! Exclamation mark. Will you text me before or after your appointments tomorrow? Question mark. Toxic Seahorse's weapon is one of those weird ones, because it looks interesting, and it just doesn't really have much viscerality to it. It's actually a really good weapon, like in terms of raw stats. Grenade Man has another good weapon. Look, there's a lot of good weapons in the Mega Man series, like I said. It would be easier for me to pick a favorite per game than it would, like, for the whole franchise. So let's see. Mega Man 1. Electman is just such an easy answer. I honestly haven't looked into it other than the obvious stuff, Scion. It'll be interesting to see where it's going, since, as you just pointed out, I don't know anything about that particular era of the setting. I mean, Electman is just such a good weapon. It's a try-hitting, screen-ranged death nuke. It also destroys blocks, so it's got utility, too. So then we move on to Mega Man 2. And I know what you're thinking. I do remember that, Ross. It's very easy, Yeehaw Mika. All you have to do is put interest into a new game, as you would to an existing game. You can do that by winning the guessing game. You can do, which you can type exclamation mark guess to get the slot for that. You can do that by putting channel points towards something, or you can, put money towards the show. All in any method, whether direct donations, bits, Twitch subs, Patreon, whatever. Ooh, I like it, Dasan. Oh my god. I need one more freaking level. I kind of was willing to do this because I figured this would be shorter than just walking, and I'm starting to question that. But this is the best experience area I have access to, so we're just going to stick here for a minute. Anyways, my first video game ever? Pac-Man. I know, boring answer, but it's true. Mega Man 2, I'm kind of torn, because Mega Man 2 actually has several good ones. I mean, you say the Metal Blade, and the Metal Blade is ridiculous, to the point where it's arguably bad design. But actually, I've always had a big fondness for Heatman's weapon as well as Crashman's. And Airblade is kind of neat in its own right, but no, of course it's the Metal Blade. So let's move on to the Mega Man 3. Mega Man 3, for being a game I praise quite a bit, and I stand by that fact, nevertheless doesn't really have good weapon design. Not really. We talked about that when we were reviewing it. It's getting there, comma. Thank you for asking, period. In 3... yeah, I think I will go ahead and go with the Magna Missiles as well in 3. 4 is Pharaoh Shot. That's an easy one. Pharaoh Shot's awesome. So then we move on to 5. 5's tough. Believe it or not, I think I'm going to go with Stone Man's weapon in 5. Its unique attack angles led to a lot of cool stuff you could do with it. Because for those who don't remember, it would send out spiraling shots around you. So you could be like, Fukong, or Fukong, and it was just cool, and I liked it. Yes, Blade to Wall, that is correct. Toad something, I don't remember what it's called. Sure, Crazy Norse, we can go with that. In 6... I don't know, a lot of boring ones in 6 again. I think I'm going to go with Tomahawk. The Tomahawk angled shot. Seven's a weird one, because most of Seven's weapons are actually really well designed overall. But only if you want to play with it, because none of them are really necessary. I think I'm going to go with the Trash Shield. Junkman's Shield in 7. That's honestly a really well-designed weapon, as we talked about when we were going through the review. Whatever the table cabinet was, Scott Kebar. The ones where you could sit down and put your pizza on the screen, basically. Because the actual screen was under the table, and the table was just glass. Space Brand 2 is on the list, I'm pretty sure. Almost positive. Can't believe I'm not level 13 yet. Mega Man 8. I could cheat and say the bouncing ball. No. I think I'll go with Tengu Man's weapon, the Tornado Hold. Yes, Wing Commander, you know. And yeah, Grenade's weapon is also pretty... Grenade Man's weapon is also pretty cool. And yeah, in 9, the Black Hole Bomb. Yeah, that's an easy one. 10, I don't actually remember 10's weapons all that well. So I'm going to skip ahead to 11. And the problem with 11 is all of the weapons are cool in 11. I'm not sure I could pick a favorite there. That's hard. Oh my god, come on, one more level. One more level. Oh yeah, the Triple Blade. That's a good one. Seriously, 11 had such good weapons. 11 was such a good game. It is the best Mega Man game, and it's like, well, the best Mega Man Classic game, excuse me. I've discovered recently that when people hear me say Mega Man, what they think I mean is the franchise, but when I say Mega Man, what I mean is Mega Man Classic. Egg on my face. I cannot believe we're still here. I'm just trying to get to level 13. Oh my god! Why is it taking so long? Why? Why? So Mega Man X1 Storm Eagles, that's just really, really easy. Mega Man X2? You know, honestly, I'm going to go with Wire Sponge's weapon. It's the grappling hook. And it's just, there's so much you can do with that. It's a fun, neat little utility weapon. And it's a lot of fun to play around with. So then we move on to 3. Oops. I think I'm going to go with the Neon Spray from Neon Tiger in 3. 4, I don't remember the weapons because I usually play as 0. What were the weapons in 4? I legitimately don't remember. I remember the upward slash, which you get from Magma Dragoon. I remember the downward ice spike. These are both 0 weapons. I remember the standing, like, slashing move, which hits like a truck. I don't know. I'm going to default on 4. God damn it, wrong person. Everyone's level 13 except the only person I'm trying to get to level 13. Yes, what I'm trying to say is, a lightsaber is the best weapon in Mega Man X4. Let's see. Oh, nice, Scout Giver. Yeah, I as much as I say Pac-Man was my first actual game, and it is, or my first game, excuse me, my first actual game was Super Mario Bros. 1. That's the first game I owned and played and bought, and freaking finally! Oh my god. Okay. So we need to go to the town of zombies, which is called Romero. Rid us of the zombies, and I'll tell you about Agua. Agua. The wizard's potion has been tainted the soil. Now the zombies run free. We killed the wizard, though. Something called the cleansing water that might save the soil. The zombies have eaten our animals. I fear we'll be next. No. Water from the spring in the southwest cave will make you feel better. Okay. Listen, Crazy Horse, it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. This is the hour of the zombies. You want the water junior? Water jar. Right. To clean the soil, my zombie husband will go away. I must leave now. The cleansing water will restore the village. I'll miss you, but if you insist on dying... Cleansing water's in the cave to the west. Use the water jar under the tomb. It's getting there, Evo. Thank you, Seraphim. And Happy New Year. Weird game to start the year on, huh? I need to start selling stuff soon. It's just such a pain. This is our inventory max, by the way. Like, this is it. So as you can see, we're getting kind of close to being full-on inventory. So that's cool. So now we can move through the woods, or not. There we go. Now we can move, as I was saying, we can move through the woods. I don't know what you're talking about, Evo. Yeah, why do we need a jar to... Yeah, we ended the year on Untitled Goose Game. And this game called Facet. Which was fascinating. Okay, so that was going towards Kingdom Hearts 4 and the Kingdom Hearts block. Oh no, it's the enemies from the beginning of the frickin' game. Dang it, go away. No excuses, Evo. I expect that game to be at least better than Assassin's Creed Unity. Yay, dungeon time. Ew. You take herb. Yeah, and it took tons of grinding to get to this point, too. Because we really wanted the warp spell. You know, I'm not sure how long Both 1's gonna be. I don't feel like we're particularly far in. We're only on chapter 3. But I'm not sure how many chapters there really are in this one. Right now we're trying to activate a robot. No, that's actually our goal at the moment. You see, the Dark Dragons were like, mohahaha. And they have this robot the size of a freaking city. Which naturally means rather than using it to conquer or destroy anything, they used it to, god damn it, to block a waterway to reduce all the water from the town. It's the slow death, you know. They wanted to make sure that they suffered on their way out. Yeah, it's good night. Who are you? Good night. Yeah, it's win-win. Either they all starve. Desiccate? What do you call that when dying of water? Either they all die of water, whatever that's called, or they submit to you. Either way, you've got a nice new shiny town. There we go. Dehydrate. Thank you. They dehydrate to death. Or they join you. Join you. By the way, just to really emphasize how ridiculous the Earth Key is, we still haven't reached the point where it's not better, at least in terms of raw damage output, than anything else we're doing. Let's point that out. Oh yeah, Loke asked a Sorry, I even answered it in my head. Loke actually asked 2 questions. Okay, I missed the other one. Holy crap. Thought I checked this. Unfortunately, Loke is gone, so I can't answer these questions now. I'm going to blame that on Evo. Because, see, she's Canadian, and she'll just accept the blame. Oh, Loke's here. You're cool, Evo. So would I have any interest in a Dark Souls rewrite? No. I mean, if you want to do it, go for it, but I just don't care enough about the franchise to put the kind of time, effort, and work that would require. Like... Besides, if I did a Dark Souls rewrite, I would have to somehow make it so that, like, as you're going through the story, like, it's a video, right? It's a linear video. But, like, there's black text on black background, which is actually explaining half the plot that's happening, but it's doing so out of order, and it only says, like, 3 words at a time. But for real, I don't think a Dark Souls would fit a rewrite format. So is Sea of Thieves up for consideration now that you don't have to play a PvP and it has an actual story? Maybe? I admittedly fell off of looking at Sea of Thieves, so I'm not really sure where it's at with regards to that. I will still admit I have no interest in it. Oh, yeah, all the lores in one room, which is not clear or indicative at all. No, if I wanted to go crazy, I'd do one of those things, which I've only seen a couple of in, I've only seen a couple of those on YouTube. It's when they use the links that you can embed into the video to kind of build a branching narrative into the videos. And I've actually thought about doing that several times. In fact, I even have a story idea still written in the back of my mind to do with that. But, you know. Anyways, that would take an inordinate amount of time and effort for something nobody would care about, so I think I'll hold off on that for now. Why no interest in Dark Souls? I don't understand how to answer that question. I mean, I have no interest in Lord of the Rings either, but it doesn't mean I don't like Lord of the Rings. It's just I have no interest in rewriting it. That's all. The answer to your question is a question you asked yourself. I have no interest in it. That's all. Or no interest in rewriting it, rather. That's it. That's all. Oh, sorry. I think I did say that, Rain36. I have been calling so many games Sea of Stars today on accident. I don't know why I keep screwing that up. I blame Sea of Stars. And Evo. So what was the ultimate reason I vetoed old school RuneScape? Yes. Old school RuneScape is the anti-streaming game. First of all, it's an MMO. And I'm very, very picky. You are correct, Ross. I'm very picky about which MMOs I even allow for streaming. They have to be an MMO I have at least a substantial familiarity with. Because MMOs, by their very nature, cannot be reviewed linearly. Like, none of them can. FF14 and WoW, and STO, and Tor all required substantial off-camera prep work and understanding of the games and years of experience with them. Guild Wars 2 will be the same way, if we ever get there. So, look, Crazy Nurse. It's not my fault that they're both S blank of the stars, okay? So, like, for example, the same would be true of pretty much any MMO. And is true. In fact, MMOs in general are vetoed. I didn't mean to hit that button. Whatever. But in addition to the fact that it's an MMO and the fact that, you know, I don't have the familiarity with it and blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is, old school RuneScape is just... would probably be one of the worst stream games that I could think of off the top of my head. I cannot imagine anybody would enjoy watching that particular type of stream. I'm sure there's someone somewhere, but I'd probably torpedo my job and my viewership while doing so. And I'd be hating the entire experience. Yeah, it's a time killer game, exactly. So it's an extensive MMO-scale time killer game. And the only people who'd want to watch that stream are people who love that game. Who would look at me, hating every second of it, and bashing it, who would not enjoy it. So it wouldn't be good for me, because I'd hate playing it. It wouldn't be good for you guys, because you wouldn't want to watch it. And it wouldn't be good for people who actually like the game, because they want me to talk positively about it. It's kind of a lose-lose scenario for everybody. There's an old saying that boils down to... I can apply it to RuneScape specifically, but it boils down to... a lot of gaming companies over the years have tried to recreate old school RuneScape, and they have all failed because all the people who actually want old school RuneScape just go play old school RuneScape. The cleansing water purified the soil. Yay! Thank you, warrior. Use this tablet to enter Agua. Agua? Man, I don't know. Okay. Well, let's go to Agua. Agua? God, I don't know. Look, I can't talk, okay? Alright, let's do itemization. God, why does it default to no? Damn it, Dark Prince Revan. We talked about this. Is this game fun? That's an interesting question. Was this game fun when it came out? That's an even more interesting question. Yeah, no, this is an extreme Sand Before Water example, to be honest. Yeah, this is just... This is Dragon Quest again, really. And that's fine. We're all very fond of the old woman. If you know what I mean! Do you know about Agua? The chief said something about the goddess. We're all very fond of the old woman. This is Romero. The town of zombies. The zombies are history. What a relief. This is Winland. Sorry, what was the question, Evo? Oh, is this game fun? Pass. Okay. That way Savacom won't kill me. I know she will. She knows karate. She's got that thing where, like, she punches you, and then 70 years later you die old and unloved. It's a great power. No, it's not that bad. It's just... It's it's really funny because I've been kind of blurking about this, but the harsh truth is this is probably going to be a net negative game. Just being honest. What? This is happening because I read a tablet, by the way. If it makes you feel any better, this game surely will outperform the second game. I am not sure, Lovicom, no. I really am not. We also will be playing the original translation next time, which is not as good as the version we played last time. Damn it, Scion! Why do you still donate to me? Why? You know what? No. I refuse. I reject it. I flee! Ah, bus, get away. Okay, I'm okay. And Scion never donated. Oh, shoot, I forgot to get water. I can't win today. I have no mouth. And Age of Sigmar. Which one was Last Train Home? Oh, I remember this one. I was interested in this one. Is it out yet? I should actually look at this. It is apparently out. What do you know? I'm sorry. I'm out of water. No, Darch Monster. Because there is no way to check. It is impossible. For reasons I'll get into in just a second. Here, have some music. I'll be right back. I have no water, and I have a headache. I'll be right back. So, definitely answer you, Darch Monster. Like 2 minutes. We ancient precursors. Why are the ancient pictures always so much more advanced than we are? What started that? Like, for real. Surely that doesn't go back to Tolkien, right? Surely someone else started the ancients were more advanced than us crap. Because, I don't know, when I think of super advanced ancient species here on Earth, I definitely think of people who didn't master indoor plumbing or electricity. Or the internet. Damn it, Jules Verne. Ruining everything for everybody. As usual. Well, yeah, I mean, in most of these games, there's a specific reason for it. And Miria herself will talk about that in the future. But anyways. So, to answer Darch Monster. The formula for funding takes into account the number of people who have put interest towards a game and the amount of money that's been put towards a game, right? The reason that that's so significant, to answer your question in particular, is like it would be relatively easy to calculate, okay, if one person and nobody else decided to dump money on a game, how much would it take to fund? But that number would make you go, whoa, because it's probably in the 5-digit range. Like, I've done that calculation manually several times, and each time it's been turned like, yeah, if you want to fund this by yourself, it's going to be like 10 grand. And they're like, oh my god. You, of all people, should know that that's impossible, Eric. Excuse me. I mean, Kingsfield 4 was a little bit different. It was a relatively short game, and the shorter the game, the easier it is to get funded. And also, there may have been some dealer's choicing going on there. Maybe. I confess to nothing. Same with this game, actually. About half the funders of this game are actually, more than half of the funders of this game are dealer's choices. So, for example, Savacom put $2 grand towards this game, or these games, which is ridiculous, and I wish she wouldn't give me so much money. But the thing is, I looked at that and I'm like, because it was just sitting there nowhere. Because, you know, only one person was putting well, 2 people were putting a huge amount of money towards it. And so I'm like, okay. So I dumped like, you know, 20, 15, I forget how many. I dumped a bunch of dealer's choices on it. And lo and behold, the moment the interest level went up, the moment the game got funded. Like the day I sat down and put dealer's choice towards it, it was funded. I was like, well, okay. Meanwhile, Darch Monster has left. And so hasn't even heard this frickin' thing. Yeah, how much do you make a year again, Eric? The answer is more than I do. So as a reminder, Vancini, we have recently changed things around so that non-financial contributions can still go towards multiple things. So if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. Do I have a preference in high fantasy versus low fantasy? So let me answer first by saying, no, I do not. But before I go any further, having already answered your question, what do you define as high fantasy versus low fantasy? Definitions are important and all that. Rogue Trader and the Resident Evil block. You got it. Evo, I want you to know I'm sorry that your job is getting harder as this goes on. I'm sorry, Evo. I'm so sorry. Please don't hate me, Evo. You can hate me. It's okay. I take full blame for this. But no, I have no real preference between high fantasy, dark fantasy, main fantasy, light fantasy, low fantasy, sci fantasy, mega fantasy, ultra fantasy. Let's see what else. Sex fantasy. Gotta have sex fantasy. I can't wait for Sex Fantasy 7. I hear they're finally going to add the new combos system. Yeah, no, exactly, Blade Devil. All I want is good. I don't care, as long as it's good. It's the only thing that really matters to me. For example, in the extant, I believe would qualify as high fantasy based on your definitions just now, because magic is an ordinary, everyday aspect of the extant. There are schools and universities you can go to learn about magic. And it's more of a science than anything else. Rotisserie chicken soup. Well, see, it's funny because I would actually qualify the extant as low fantasy in my own mind. Because it's not particularly... like, there's no... sorceresses from FF8, right? There's no wild, planet-destroying, ultra-mega death doom, like ultra magic, right? Instead, there's just magic. Ordinary, everyday magic. I don't know, Darchbuster. She's got to make up for it somehow, I guess. Kind of Reign 36. I don't know. The idea is that anybody can learn magic within the extant. But not everybody bothers to because it's not always worthwhile to do so, and it's a fairly large commitment to do so. Magic is also not necessarily superior to technology, and the two are different and distinct from each other, too. Exactly, Noctis Excellent. Oh yeah, that's true. We keep focusing on fantasy, but I suppose... or excuse me, we keep focusing on magic, but fantasy can be other things. There are lots of species in the extant, after all. Although for quite a while, I was really debating not having any species other than humans in the extant. Which is a form of science fiction I rather enjoy, and don't see all that often. Mech Warrior, for example, or arguably most of Asimov's stuff, like the Foundation. They have super advanced progenitors. No. The progenitors for the extant... yeah, Dune is another example. The progenitors for the extant would be modern-day humans, who are not what I would call super advanced. The extant did solve the Fermi paradox, although maybe I shouldn't explain how and why. Maybe I should hold on to that one. God damn it, Dark Prince Revan. I will say that I am a firm believer in the filter theory, the Great Filter, simply because it just makes too much sense to me. Like, it's entirely too logical that over time, certain species would just trip on a specific aspect of storytelling, or sorry, of technology, or culture, or politics, you know. One weirdo decides not to veto a nuke launch, and there you go, right? And that's pretty far down the filter line, too. There's all kinds of filters that can happen before you get to the point of people who can build nukes. So, like, first you have to get to the point of being people, which is a huge hurdle by itself. Then you have to get to the point of being a civilization. Then you have to get to the point of being, you know, spacebound and so forth and so on. Damn it, play tool. Tools of Destruction. So which one, what, when, and how is Tools of Destruction? Help me out here, Dark Prince Revan. I know what Ratchet and Clank is, but I don't know the specific one there. PS3. Okay, so it's a PS3 game. I'm assuming it's not part of the HD collection for some dumb reason or another. Yeah, that's the other thing. Most of the filters are internal, but they can also be external filters as well. Bad meteor, sun decides to go to grow or shrink, or a gamma ray burst, or what's the thing that happened in Outer Wilds? I can't remember what it's called. It's a specific term, and it's based on a real-life concept. No. The thing that happened long before the game actually started. Okay, we're a zombie now. Cool. That's a good thing that I am happy about. Do we... Me, Ross. Charm might do it? Life, maybe? Here, let's just save state for no reason. Let's see if Charm does it. Nope, okay. At least it didn't let me waste it. I would, in all sincerity, I would say the most likely, like the largest statistical filter is probably the point of getting to being a sentient sapient species to begin with. Once you've passed that, you've probably gotten over the biggest hurdle. My opinion. Although that's kind of a math thing more than anything else. Do I not have a zombie cure item? Oh, no. Teardrops. Yeah, exactly, Ren 36. Bingo. Okay. Hello? I'm the boss that guards the key. Is your name Boss? You want to test your strength? Sure. Wow, we've been grinding too. Okay. Well, hang on. Before we continue this, let's hit Amazon really quick. For no reason. And let's see, it's called Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. What do we got here? This is weird. So, Tools of Destruction itself is listed as currently unavailable, which is very strange. But then there's the British version, which is not future. It's just Tools of Destruction. But then there's this one. Oh, this is the Japanese version. Why is a PS3 game this hard to get a hold of? Normally, PS3 games I have no issues with. I was just checking as a formality. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check the PSN, and that's a whole hassle. I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm just saying I can't give you an answer now. So I'm not going to give you an answer now. Listen, nobody likes Ratchet and Clank, obviously. Either way, I do appreciate your support, Dark Patrol. Thank you. I do always appreciate. And I will look that up later. You know, hang on. I've got a walkthrough. Are you weak to anything? Oh, hey. He actually... This is our first boss that doesn't have a second wind mechanic. Holy crap. Oh, he has an AoE, though. Cool. We don't have an AoE heal yet. So I think we do. See you around, Mr. Red. Enjoy the chocolate. And hopefully not the beer. I mean, I guess you could enjoy the beer, I guess. Yeah, that's what I thought. So naturally, Bo is a better mage than anything else, because... I don't know. Don't ask me. That sounds insulting, Mr. Red. I guess I'll watch you, lore. I mean, I got nothing else to watch. Ugh. Just... Ugh, it's just so nauseating having to watch you, of all people. Ugh. I don't blame you. I would get nauseated looking at me, too. Is this an epilepsy warning for anybody? Sorry, epilepsy warning if it counts for anybody. Yeah, the lore runner? It's just... Could you stop AoEing me for 5 seconds? God, so rude. Actually, he is driving while watching stream, while chatting. He's going for the trifecta. It could be worse. He could be watching TikTok. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Yeah, Mr. Red is just being translated by the people who localized this game today. YouTube Shorts? Ugh. Ugh, disgusting. No, they absolutely are not, Sauerkraut. There's a lot to be said about the nuance of TikTok and YouTube Shorts and other short-form entertainment. But the harsh, flat reality is that there's some really good evidence that those things are just not great for some people. Like, literally, mental health ways, you know what I mean? And that's, honestly, all I think I'm going to say about that. I've actually been asked a few times, why don't you have a TikTok? And every time I'm like, yay. Well done, Ryu. You deserve the key. Search this pillar. I have an OnlyFans. I also have a TikTok account, by the way. Although at this point, that's mostly me squatting on the accounts to make sure nobody else does that, because I've already lost one account to Imager, I think? I forget what, but there's something out there which isn't me. And to this day, I don't actually know who or what it is. Like, I don't know who made a fake page for me. Even put one of my Twitter pics up to be like, hey, it's me, and it's not me, for reference. I only found out about it because one of my viewers was like, hey, I linked you such and such on your such and such page. Why didn't you respond? And my response was... I actually refuse on principle to look at YouTube Shorts. YouTube keeps trying to push them on me, and I have yet to click one. I did briefly think about going ahead and developing my own shorts just to boost algorithm, because I know that if you put out shorts, it boosts your viewability, your gain. But then I discovered something interesting. They do not allow normal-sized videos to be pushed out to shorts. It has to be the phone format, you know, the vertical format. So, no. What does YouTube get from YouTube Shorts? Some idiot in a suit somewhere gets to feel like they actually won an argument with some other idiot in a suit. I'm dead serious, by the way. That is 100% the benefit of YouTube Shorts. Nina, when did you become a zombie? And can I heal zombie at the town? Because that would be nice. That's all I'm saying. Please let me heal this at the town. I can tell I'm not even watching the fights anymore. I'm a zombie! Get a good night's rest. It worked! Holy crap. I already put out one YouTube short, and only one, and it was completely by accident. In fact, I never slotted it in as a short. I never, was like, hey, upload short. I just uploaded a video, and YouTube automatically, without telling me, classified it as a short. That actually irritated me. Just making sure where we're going. I was pretty sure. Oh, that sucks, Papanix. I'm sorry. But listen, I really needed this transmog. No, Darkrai. It's one of my ongoing April Fool's saga. World of Warcraft, Game Geek. Yes, Crazy Norse. That is correct. I'm going the wrong way. Based on the item level, it's the latest raid. Yeah, as the old saying goes, friends don't let friends pug. That's true in FF14, and that's true in WoW. Something I bash Bragwin for periodically, and I'm going to do it publicly right now. Bragwin, stop pugging! If you need to do something, ask one of us. You're not a bother, Bragwin! Shake, 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 shake. Hang on, where's... Pretend this bag of carrots is you, Bragwin. You're not a bother! Stop! Stop bugging! Okay, there we go. Cool. Moving on. Oh yeah, I have water. I haven't been drinking because I kept being in the mentality I didn't have any water. PUG stands for pickup group. It means when you group with a bunch of random strangers, instead of a prefab, which means when you group with people you actually know. They may not be better players, but they're definitely better people. I mean, hell, just last night? Was it last night? We ended up going through the MSQQ, and Blade Terval and Uison Corp both helped me out with that, so that Evo could do that, and that was awesome. If you want to suffer, then you should play old school RuneScape. I'm joking. Old school RuneScape at least has some game design to it. You son of a... Stop zombieing me! Yeah, I talked about that a lot earlier, Evo. Let's go get rid of zombie by getting a good night's rest. I didn't know you played FF14, Papanix. Yeah, zombie destroys your attack. Oh no, she's good in WoW. She's got me and Pax. We got her back. We're currently going through Legion. I think I already mentioned that. And she hates Legion. She says, God, this is just the worst expansion. Oh, why does anybody play this drivel? You know, that's a good question, Vife. I'm thinking yes. Yeah, I'm going to go with yes. It's not something I interact with a particularly large amount, specifically because of the fact that it requires you doing stuff that I generally don't do. But it is still a great concept. The only time I ever get any benefit out of the vault is when I happen to do a time-walking dungeon, because those count. But it is a good bad luck protection kind of a thing, you know, try to encourage some kind of progression regardless. Yeah, exactly, Five. So, yeah, I think the vault will be positive worthy when we get there. Hell, he was even decent in Shadowlands, and you know my opinion is Shadowlands. Aw. See you around, Evo. Don't swoon too hard. I know it's hard in my presence. Pax and I finished Shadowlands in Dragonflight. That's how long it took us to get back to that nonsense. The last patch wasn't bad, honestly, but it completely lost me because its subject matter was something I just have no interest in. Like, it's really hard to care when you start going through, like, multiversal, end of multiple realities. Just, I don't know, the moment your story reaches that level is the moment I mentally check out. I'm like, yeah, okay. The entire universe is at stake. Yeah, that's cool. Wake me when we're done. Give me something I care about. Oh, the Dragonflight patches have been legit so far. We're not actually caught up on those yet. We just hit the Dream last week, I want to say. It's been really good so far, though. Well, if you want my honest advice, Braglin, I would say think about poking at it. I'll even pay for your sub. Think about poking at it when we get to the review. See what you think of it there, right? Based on the timing, that's probably going to be before War Within, but that will also be after the upcoming patch, which adds dragon riding to the rest of the game, and adds in the trust system. So, that should be interesting. Oh, I believe that's also the patch that's adding the improvements to Transmog. About freaking time. Pax and I have already sworn that once they add the Transmog quality of life change, we're going to go back and redo, like, tons and tons of older dungeons and raids on a regular basis to get all the Transmog we don't have.
I control the stone robot! Give me that key!
Remember this fight? Because it's the exact same fight as last time. Oh yeah, warbands. I want, like, cool-looking people on the front page, you know? I did that in STO, too. This is just what he sounds like, okay? This is just his life. Have you played STO, Brigman? So, okay. So, warband is a fancy term for more things becoming account-bound, or bound on account. But there's actually one other little feature about it, which I'm legitimately excited for. So you know how you fire up, like, Diablo 2, and there's that campfire, and there's all the people right there? Imagine that, but that's all your alts, right? So, what Pax and I want to do is we want to set up the campfire with our favorite alts, but we want them geared, right? We want them to look cool, and we want them to have, like, the right setup and the right custom. So, we're going to be running around setting up some more transmogs and stuff like that to make sure our campfire scene looks cool. And I know that sounds pathetic, and I don't care. Like I said, so that's why I brought up STO. Because STO does the same thing. Your primary crew members, the party members who join with you, they appear on your login screen. Similar concept. And I did the same thing over in STO. Because of course I did. Jesus. We just hit that guy for 80. Oh no, he's got a second health bar. I'm very shocked by this development. This is what I meant earlier, by the way. I was talking about how most magic systems, you only get like... We get 4 frost spells, and that's it. Never tapped. Yeah, what'd you think those veiny things were in the... Of course the giant robot has pulsing heart and veins going through its stone. Oh yeah, sound warning. Oh yeah, Breath of Fire games like to have gross dungeons. That's true in all 3 of them. I'm just gonna warn you about that right now. Hang on, I'm following a map here. Give me a second. Yeah, Misophonia. I couldn't think of the name. Thank you. Yeah, let me just pause this while I'm looking this up. Yeah, because he can hunt! But also, he allows us to walk through forests, which means he is objectively better to have in front than anybody else. At least at the moment. God, we haven't even gotten Gobi yet. Hang on. There we go. Hunting gets you, essentially potions. It's also the only source of AoE healing we have at this part of the game. This is admittedly kind of cool. It's extraordinarily simple, but it does a good job of getting across what's happening here. Because we can see out its eye, right? Yeah, I remember this fight. The upcoming boss fight is our first difficulty cliff. Use your power to destroy the river. Please. Because of course it has a giant laser. Why wouldn't it? Release the river. We did it! Yes, now we can return to the village. Let's get out of here. Aw. We actually can't warp out of a dungeon. I figured, but, whatever. Yeah, why would you build a giant robot if you're not going to give it laser eyes? Honestly. Is that even a giant robot at that point? It's just a fancy tin can. So you probably missed it, because this is Breath of Fire 1. But the major story arc for this area is not just that the water was taken out, but because the water was taken out, both... So, okay. The Black Dragons barricaded the dam to drain the river for them, so they would either capitulate or die. Now, the Black Dragons also said, if you give us this artifact, we'll go ahead and let you go. But they were refusing to give the artifact because, no, we will never do that. So, there was tension between both villages, and that meant that Terry from the left village and Amelia from the right village couldn't get married. Not because, I mean, okay, they totally could and should have gotten married. But the point is, they didn't. Because, oh my god, the two villages hate each other and we're probably going to all die of dehydration. So that's cool. But now they can finally get married. Yay. I actually want to go to the left town, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, Crazy Nurse. I suppose I could double check. Let's see here. Phantasy Star. In a minute, I'll look into the Phantasy Star situation. But I have no answer off the top of my head for you, Crazy Norse. Hey, the water came back. Even if you're at the water, you can't always fish. Yeah? This is Tantar. This is Winland. But yes, now there's peace in our time because we've returned to the water. A refreshingly down-to-earth problem, I gotta admit. I mean, if you think about it, a medieval village losing access to the river would probably kill the village. Or force them to move. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Phantasy Star, Phantasy Star. Let's see, Phantasy Star 2, 4, and that's it. We're both put into the frozen list due to lack of interest. Both of them had spent... Looks like about 4 or 5 months with no donations and no interest put towards them. Any questions? Yeah, exactly, Vulgarity. It is hidden in a cave upstream. The key is down below. Why does everyone keep their keys in basements? Anyways, we gotta go search for the ring now. I do like how basic potions, herbs, are useful well into the game. Like, we're still using herbs as of this point. We will prepare for a wedding while you go do this. Hey, Trunifor, how it be? Right, I should update the HUD, because I haven't done that lately. Hang on. So, lore run of Oregon Trail. In the grim dark of the future, there is only fording the river. There you go. I hope that was good. Is this a long game? By my definitions, yes. This is longer than FF6, for example. Don't worry, BoF 2 will be much shorter. Alright, so let's update the HUD, shall we? So we're up to 3 positives to story. Three negatives to story. That's the one, Darkrai. God, that game sucks. 3 pluses to gameplay. And 12 negatives to gameplay. Yeah, but we're cheating, Savicom. Remember? BoF 2 is specifically a cheat run. That was the compromise. So we're cheating right out the gate. And by right out the gate, I mean as soon as we get to the present. I should heal, shouldn't I? Yep, I should heal. I should heal. Am I far into the game? I am still on Chapter 3, Evo. I have been since the lunch break. I should probably also save, because I haven't done that in a long time. I have been arrogant about my saves, and I shouldn't do that. How many chapters? 87! I don't actually know. Let me look up this walkthrough. What do you say? How many chapters do you say there are? 9. On the plus side, we're almost to the end of Chapter 3. Jesus. Don't worry. It gets worse the further into the game we get. We're at the good parts of the game right now. We're about to hit the first difficulty cliff, too. Literally the next boss. Oh yeah, actually. Oh, I didn't get it, did I? No, I didn't. God, we're almost full in inventory, too. That's ridiculous. Well, in all honesty, I was expecting to pull up the cheat flag on the upcoming boss fight. We'll see how we do. We've already run into a couple of issues on bosses, but we've managed to slog our way through. And we've actually stopped to grind twice now. So we'll see how this goes. I should also mention that this game has a really unbalanced party problem. Ryu is mandatory, so that's whatever. Nina is your only healer, so that's whatever. And then later on there's Karn, which we'll talk about when we get there. And that's the mandate right there. That's the party of 3. Everyone else might as well not be there. I'm actually not. I actually sold off a lot of equipment recently von Falkenstein. I've just gotten more crap since then. Yeah, party size, I'm pretty sure 3 is the limit. I shouldn't say that, but I believe it is 3. Where'd the 3-person party come from? Actually, simple math. 3 is pretty much the near perfect party size. Now, you can go higher and make it work, and you can go lower and make it work. But 3 is pretty much the starting point. It means you have the most possible modularity between types of roles, you know, tanking, healing, support, DPS, that kind of a thing. It gives you more balancing options as a developer with regards to designing your game, and it makes sure that you don't get... Basically, you don't have too much or too little. So, yeah, fighter, mage, rogue, as the old saying goes. Now, that's not a hard and set rule, but you can see why so many developers default to the party of 3. Let's see, for RFF1, we're going to have a party size of 6. For RFF2, we're going to have a party size of 3. For RFF3, it's going to be a party size of 4. And for RFF4, it'll be a party size of, I believe, 5 is what we decided on there. And then 5 will be a party size of 5. Ten will be a party size of 1, but with an asterisk. Sorry, I hesitated a moment because I was debating how to qualify that. 10-2 will have a party size of 3. Also, technically 1. 7 I haven't decided yet. 7's a weird one. 12 will have a party size of however many party members are in the game, I forget. But everybody can be in a combat simultaneously. Am I backtracking? God damn it. Let's see. Then we'd have 8. What did I decide 8 was? I don't actually remember. I know 9 is the Zelda game. So 9's party size will actually be variable based on the dungeon. But 8... What did we decide for 8? You take life. No, I don't remember. I have notes. Hang on. I'll just pull up my own notes. Let's see here. So for 8... Ah, okay. That would make 8's party size 1. Well, no, I agree, Blade Travel. I mean, again, that's why 3 is kind of considered the golden standard, is because it gives enough options. You know, be more than nothing. Yeah, Suikoden with its 6 party size was always a good move there. I don't think anybody counts Revenant Wings, Darkwire. Oh god, it's Huthor. I mean, hi, Huthor. We definitely weren't praising Dragonflight earlier. And we definitely weren't bashing WoW Classic. Actually, we weren't, so I shouldn't say that. Thank you for the sub, Huthor. If you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. See, I'm kind of with you, Blade Devil. Good night, Crazy Norse. But I think I agree for a different reason. A party size of 3 doesn't bother me when there are 3 party members, if that makes sense. 10-2, right? In 10-2, there are 3 players, and you have the whole party with you all the time, and I'm with that. In, 10, you have a party size of 3, and your party is like, what, 10? 12? I'm probably exaggerating, but there's tons, and it's like, well, pick 3. That irritates me. 7. Thank you, Darkrai. I knew I was exaggerating. Oh, okay. I do love snickerdoodles. Jedi Fallen Order. Jedi Survivor. Wow. Dragonflight. It's not as bad as it could be, Venters, but then again, I don't know. I don't want to come across as harsh, but every time someone uses the quick swap in combat feature as a way to defend 10, I'm reminded of how extraordinarily boring it is to swap in party members every goddamn fight in FF10. Now, having said that, even that wouldn't bother me that much if the back row actually got the experience the front row got, right? At that point, I would be a lot more okay with it. Because then you could be leveling your back row and your front row at the same time without the extra irritation. And you could bring the 3 you want for any given, fight. That's a damn shame, Von Falkenstein, because I was quite impressed with Jedi Fallen Order. Like, one of the most common questions I got was, is it good or is it good for an EA game? And I was like, no, it's good. And I'm not sure I'm going to be saying that about Jedi Survivor. Of course it was, Uthor. Wait, am I backtracking? No, I'm not. Okay. You take 2,000 gold from Zastil. Thank you, Zastil, very much. Always appreciate that support. Thank you. Thank you. Back to lurking. Happy New Year, Zastil. Happy lurking. Happy New Year, Sean. Yeah, by the way, one of my favorite games of all time, FF6, has a party size of 14. Now, I'm okay with it in FF6's case, weirdly enough. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's because it's FF6, right? No. It's because of the fact that FF6 goes out of its way to add gameplay to not just mitigate, but add to the party size. The triple party concept really helps with FF6's gameplay, I think. In fact, the only thing that's a downside of it is they only use it twice, once in the Phoenix Cave and once in the Final Dungeon. But in both cases, I love that. I love the fact that you can actually field 3 full party members and have each of them be viable and have each of them be equipped. While some equipment there's only one of, the itemization of FF6... Sorry, that's true. Phoenix Cave is only 2 parties. Excuse me. But the itemization of FF6 is crazy good. And between the itemization, the variety between the characters, and the Magicite system, you have a setup where you don't really have, like, one person who's like, I am Death God Doom. Another person who's like, eh. It also kind of means the party sort of ends up being the build rather than the individual, which I'm with, because that's basically Pokemon at that point. Now, I'm not saying that's a perfect system, although I will freely admit I'm not sure what I would do to fix that if given the choice. Other than turn FF6 into RTS, which is what FF6R will be, of course. That's not a joke, by the way. Our FF6 will be an RTS. So, a party of 14? No problem. There's 14 units on the field. So Evo asks a wonderful question. She says, if you have no party limit, do you still make taking party members with you optional, or do you just make a static party of everyone that doesn't change? The reason I ask is it'll affect the story if you don't take some party members to certain quests. And it's just, is it justified to write different outcomes? That's a good question. Yeah, I thought about it, Blade Travel, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized the RTS was the way to go. Lo, it was so. Chrono Cross rewrite using every character. Sure, yeah, let me just pick up my trusty gun here. Okay, done. Anyways. Something I've been getting more and more against in recent times, Evo, is allowing the player to decide who and what they are. Yeah, Mickey Mouse functionally isn't public domain, and that's my thoughts on that, Sean. It's hilarious to me how much Disney is technically the copyright law, and you know they're fighting to extend it again. But even if they weren't, they're still holding on to their protected copyright, because Mickey Mouse functionally is still a Disney copyright. It's still the brand of Disney. Yeah. Anyways. Oh my god, Fooey Hooey. Fooey Hoo, excuse me. Fooey Hoo. Thank you. It's always good to know that someone watches those VODs. I put a non-unsubstantial amount of effort into making sure those are up. And, you know, thumbnailed and organized and searchable and all that fun stuff. Right, make sure they're on the right playlist, make sure they have the playlist in the thing, make sure they're linked on the website, make sure they're in the right order. I know, right, Von Falkenstein? Either way, thank you for the sub. If you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. Yeah, I have to, this is going to sound strange. I sort of have to assume people are watching the VODs because, and this is understandable, most people don't comment on the VODs. And I don't really, view figures are not indicative of anything. So I just kind of have to presume people are watching them. Like every now and again I'll get someone, like I just did, saying, yeah, I watch it. And it's like, okay, that's good to know. Because other than you telling me, I don't really have a lot of metrics or feedback telling me that anybody watches those. Anyways. What the hell was I just talking about? Evo's question. Customization. This is, I swear this is related to your question. That's true, Savicom. That's true. I don't agree with Evo, though. It's not history. I need to delete all my VODs. In fact, I'm going to go delete all my old stuff the moment people bring it up. Customization is the enemy of story in video gaming, and that's just the truth. There's nothing else for that. That's just true. FF14 is actually a great example of this. There are huge swaths of cutscene incompetence in FF14, specifically because of the fact that the game doesn't know what we are, and therefore doesn't know what we can do. And so we just stand there watching things happen, and in many cases, we're not even part of the cutscene. We're literally just over here watching the cutscene while the cutscene's happening over there. And yeah, this is, for those of you who watched the Tor run, which I know is not a lot of you, you should go watch it, that was a great run. This is the Tor problem in a nutshell. The story had to be designed around the idea that you could be a freaking smuggler, or one of the most powerful Sith Lords in a generation. And they had to write for both of those simultaneously. And by God, did it have issues. It's the same thing with party. If you give the player the choice of which party members can be present at certain quests or certain events, you have added customization, and now you have been the enemy of storytelling. Yeah, his hands! Stop him. Stop him. Stop him, and he's got the crystal. Points if you get it. So to answer your question in full, I think that while there's certainly a benefit and a value to having the kind of thing where you can bring whoever you want to a particular quest, it just gets in the way of the kind of stories you want to tell. So there's only 2 options here, in my opinion. One, well, 3 options. The third option is what every game developer does. They just allow you to bring whoever. Screw it. Cutscene incompetence ahoy. Option 2 is to mandate that all party members are always there. This is what Final Fantasy X did, and actually it did so really well. In Final Fantasy X's case, the fact that the whole party was always present really added to the storytelling, because everybody was... The writers and the creators always knew that everyone was always there, no matter which 3 people you bring in your party. This is the solution I keep positing to Dragon Age, and to Mass Effect, and to other games of that ilk. But then there's the third option. The third option is the trickiest one of all. The third option is to spend a lot, and I mean a lot, of extra time and development to try and make it so that you have stories and quests that accommodate nobody being there, someone of significance being there, or some people of insignificance being there, and every combination thereof. This is Dragon Age Origins, by the way. 6-year development time. What can I say? So, if you bring, someone to a particular quest, they might pop in and have a random comment. Doesn't mean anything, they're just commenting on it. Or, they might actually be significant for the quest in question and be like, hold on a second, this doesn't work in this direction. And they might actually change the direction of the quest. And yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 did this as well. Another game with an extraordinarily long development time. That's why that's the third option, is because that takes in order to actually make that work. So, doable, difficult. FF7 went with So, some people think that FF6 is the first game in which which party members you bring changes their dialogue. Like, in other words, if you do a quest with X, Y, and Z, they'll give unique dialogue based on that. That's actually not true. The overwhelming majority of it, like 99% of the dialogue that comes from those little snippets, is neutral. It actually won't say the character name, or it will, and they'll say the exact same thing that everybody else says. It doesn't matter who you bring. There's just someone who says hi, and that's it. FF7 was the first Final Fantasy game to have unique dialogue based on who you bring. The problem is, it's terrible. It's hilarious how badly constructed it is. You can actually feel how the dialogue has nothing even remotely approaching sentence or dialogue structure. Like, the NPC will be like, now such and such of a thing is... there's kittens. There are kittens up in the trees. And then Yuffie will be like, I don't like kittens! And then Tifa will be back there being like, oh no, those poor kittens. And that's it, right? It might as well not even be there. And if it wasn't there, you'd barely notice. But hang on, it gets worse. Because the localization of FF7 is garbage. And worse, it's the only Final Fantasy that has never received a polishing pass on its localization. So, that localization is still garbage today. I'll be pointing this out when we do the Final Fantasy re-reviews. Or the audit reviews. Because, as I pointed out the last time I did it, which I don't, as I pointed out the last time I did it, FF7's localization is gutter trash. And when you get further into the game, the further you get into the game, the worse it gets. It just gets so bad, to the point where what they're saying isn't even dialogue. It's not even sentences anymore. It's just gibberish. No, absolutely. Ted Woolsey. A lot of people make fun of Woolsey and his Woolseyisms, but he did some good work for the time, especially given the extreme limitations that were placed upon him. Remember, I talked about that with regards to this game, a game that was localized by Ted Woolsey. As bad as the localization is in this game, it is serviceable. It is functional. You can generally understand what's going on. It doesn't have a lot of nuance to it, and there are several scenes where you're just kind of like, but for the most part, we can understand and appreciate that story. Final Fantasy VI SNES is still a good story now. But FF7? We're ready for the ceremony. Yay, wedding. Oh god, it was ridiculous, True to 4. It was ridiculous. Yeah, very little time to play the game. Some cases, no time to play the game at all. Handed the script and said, turn this into English. And I will never stop praising Woolsey for one thing, and that is giving us Kefka as a villain. Because, I'm sorry, Kefka wasn't really an interesting character in FF6, Japanese version. He wasn't. Have you ever seen the archetype of the psychopath who likes killing and that's it? No, I don't mean like the Joker. I mean... What was the name of that jackass in Tales of Vesperia? Nobody in the chat has probably even played Tales of Vesperia. Like, he was just... That's true, Blade. I still use Son of the Submariner to this very day. I literally use that today. I can't think of his name. There was this jackass who was like, I like killing! And that was his character. That was Kefka in the original FF7. Or the original FF6, excuse me. I like killing, and sentence. Woolsey is the reason Kefka has the charisma and standing power he does. Zagi, that was it. Thank you, Gundanium. Fire Emblem likes to have the I like killing archetype quite a bit. Let's begin the ceremony. We're here to join Terry and Amelia. And yes, one of them's a wolf and one of them is a human. Reminder, all tribes can crossbreed in this setting. Have a long and happy life together. Aw, this is so sweet. I wonder what the sex is like. You can still cross the river by using the stone robot. You'll find a port in the town on the other side. Haven't had this much fun in a long time. We'll be a happy couple. Don't worry, Evo's not listening right now. I wasn't actually thinking that right now. What I was actually thinking, because the wolf guy went in to kiss her, is, what does that kiss feel like? Like, picture the snout and the tongue. That just... Yeah, that doesn't sound like it would be a good thing. Anyways, they're married now. Yay! Listen, if you're a furry, that's cool. As long as you're over there, in the corner, where you belong. Or, sorry, It's good to know we have a neighbor who is trustworthy. Yay. I'll steal the stone robot during the wedding. Ha ha ha. Robot, destroy the village. Why would you... No, stay, Evo, stay. Ha ha, what power. Destroy the next village, too. What, do you want me to say Simon Says? Destroy the next village, now! What's going on? Why did you stop? Yeah, robot, why did you stop now? But not before you destroyed an entire village. Whatever. So, I keep alluding to a difficult boss fight. We're about to fight it. I'm honestly curious how we're going to fare here. I've been worried about this fight since before I picked up the game. Oh yeah, heartbeat warning again. Sorry. Of course, we have to go through the same... By the way, we have to go through this dungeon again. I hope you memorized the route last time. Probably, Colgrim. Some people are triggered by the sound of a heartbeat. No, Evo, no, no, no. and she's gone. She hated me so much that she refused to be in my presence ever again. I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to be around me either. I mean, doing paperwork or watching me, I'd like to think I'm more entertaining than paperwork, but... Oh, I was actually kidding. We were talking up Dragonflight, but I wasn't talking down Classic. I could if you want to. Let's see. Well, Classic sucks. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I need to say. Hang on. I will praise WoW Classic now. You ready? You ready? WoW Classic is not the worst MMO I've ever played. Boss fight. So you've got the ring. Well, we're gonna have to take it away. This is the third time we've killed this guy now, by the way. Alright, wish me luck. Okay, so... I start with the biggies. We're gonna come out swinging. So I've actually been saving these for this exact fight. How is Season of Discovery, anyways? I mean, no, Sean. My personal take on that. I've always assumed that Bats himself is afraid that he will turn into I Love Murder if he kills Joker. But I don't think he'd actually would. I think that's just his greatest fear, right? Is that he will become just as bad as his opponents. But I would never believe he would actually descend into that, personally. You know what? Let's just lean into this. I should have a couple more. Yeah, I got 3 more. Oh, I got 4 more. Oof. I mean, we have defeated this guy several times. True, Blade of All. I mean, the man that laughs is... Enough said. Wait, you played a Shaman in Classic? Oh, Shaman Tank. I'm sorry, right, because... Yeah. Never mind. Ignore me. Looks like I have 2 more? Yep, 2 more. Oh, that one. Yeah, I do actually know that one, Luke. That's not the one I was thinking of, though. I mean, the Bat That Laughs is an interesting Elseworlds, but I wouldn't consider it much else, honestly. That's funny, Hoover. Yeah, you've probably been wondering why I've been holding onto these stones the entire game. This is why. I am getting really good luck in this fight, too. He has an AoE attack, and as a reminder, I have, like, 2 AoE heals at this point. Not 2, like, sources of AoE healing. 2 items that heal AoE. It's okay, I'm sure he won't curse me by being terrible at this point. Venters, if you know anything about me, you know I break that rule all the time. the anecdote I like to give is that the moment I started speedrunning RPGs is the moment I broke that habit. Because in a speedrun, you have no excess items. Ugh! AoE attack. You have no excess items, and you spend no excess items. Everything is accounted for. So there is no, holding on to, and there is no wasting. Oh god, twice in a row? Oh, that's actually bad. That's actually bad. Ugh. I don't know how much his second form has. I'm gonna indulge in a save state. Or, no. Yeah, if you can see the kind of damage... Oh my god! 3 times in a row! Yeah, this is why this is the hardest fight in the game, by the way. Or, well, the first difficulty cliff, anyways. Okay, so Bo's dead. Okay, Nina's dead. So anyway, so here we are in the middle of the fight that we're doing right now. Ooh, man, what a fight. Oof. I'd have to think about it, Loke. I'm sorry, I don't know one off the top of my head. Let's try this. Maybe he just does it in phase 2. Maybe that's just how he be. So yeah, there's my AoE healing item, of which I have one more. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the long game, which is probably very stupid. Do it anyways. Yeah, he's just doing this every round. Look at this. I don't know if that's RNG or if that's just my life. Ugh. Ugh! Ugh! That's why hunting is so useful, by the way. It gives you AoE healing items. It's also a pain in the arse to do, so screw that noise. God, please die. How much health do you have in your second health bar? I wouldn't know, because I can't see. I'm out of mana. Oh god, he needs a combo to die. No! Do you have to... Oh my god. Okay. Live. He lived. That would have been great if he died right there, but, you know. Heals only go first if they're spells. Items are not heals, programming-wise. Speaking of which... Ugh, Bo's dead. Rio's dead. So, that's a reset point, because I just burned, like, 10 nuke items on that boss and then died. So, we're gonna just reload the save here and pretend we just walked back, and now we're here, and now we're doing the fight again. Okay, so, doesn't count as cheating, because I would have reset the save anyways. Yeah, no, this is a time saver. Not anything else. God, let's do this. Oh my god, he has 600 health in his second health bar. That's crazy. I just... What? I wonder what kind of cheats there are for this game. No reason, I'm just idly curious, you know. Let's see here. Wow, there's only like 5 codes for this game. Jeez. Oh, whatever. So what you eating, Bregwin? Ooh, nice. That AoE attack is just the worst! Oh my god! Oh, wow. Would anyone like to guess the level at which I get my first AoE heal? For record, I'm level 14 right now. The answer is 37. That's our first AoE spell. Heal. So, anyways, let's try this again. Yeah, no, that's pathetic. Honestly. I'm gonna go and risk something. Try a different strategy here a little bit. God damn it, stop doing that AoE attack! 18. Please don't kill Bo. Cool! What the hell does Fort do? Hang on. I'm gonna look up a guide to figure out what Fort does. He really is, Darkrai. Well, that is a defense up. So, sure, whatever. And it's called Petrify. Because of course it is. He really is. He's just AoE spamming every round with 900 health. While attack buffed, by the way, I'm doing 20 damage a hit. Just to give you some perspective on that. It's actually literally better for me to be using the Earth Key every round than to attack while attack buffed. Did you notice you can cast heals on people who are dead, thereby wasting the turn, by the way? It's not exactly exclusive to this game, it's just irritating. SNES, just plain old SNES BMW. Although I have it on the Switch, obviously. Let's just kind of keep this ball a-rolling. What's 900 divided by 30? It's 30, right? Hang on, that doesn't sound right. No, I'm right, that is 30. So in 30 rounds, I will beat this guy. Assuming I can stay alive that long. Okay, so as long as my MP holds out. No, I need to be able to cheat in Breath of Fire 2, Ross. Kind of wish I could see how much health he has left. Although that'd probably just depress me at this point, so maybe not. I don't know. You know, it's a good thing Bo, like, doesn't matter to me for leveling him, because he's about to miss out on a lot of experience. You know, would you believe I don't know, Ross? I haven't looked it up yet. I'm sure there are some. It's a SNES game. There's always Game Genie cheats for SNES games. I don't know, like infinite levels or something like that. That would be awful, Mr. Red, I think is the word I would use. Yeah, I'm starting to think that really is just his shtick. He just uses AoE attack every round. And that's his phase 2, is AoE attack every round. Which would make sense, because a lot of games use this kind of boss design. Hey! Where at the very, very, very end, when they're very, very low on HP, they just start AoE spamming. FF14 and WoW both pull this trick. The thing is, you're supposed to do that when they're low on HP, not when they have 900 HP left. Jesus Christ. I won't let you destroy me. It's not moving. What is this? What? Hey, it's moving. We got out of the robot at the volcano in the southern part of Tuntar. The robot. Wow. Oh, Ryu said another thing. It's 2 lines of dialogue in this game. Hi, my name is Legion. Again. What is it going to do? Yep, it's pulling a Dragon Age. I wonder if it feels pain. There was a quiet voice. It said, "Goodbye." And it asked us not to make the same mistake. Let's cross the river. You know, let's go heal. Because we are, like, a corpse and 2 barely alive people. Okay, maybe you didn't hear me. Let me reiterate my point. Why are there so many zombies just roaming the countryside? Don't answer that question. Yep, your village is dead and all their people are dead. They're all dead. This is Winland. You're dead. Let's see. Can we resurrect? No, kidding, Darkrai. Hey, we can resurrect with sleep. God, that's just so easy, right? Like, if only more dead people knew to just get a good night's rest, they'd be fine. We would have conquered death. That's why old people sleep so much. They're actually dead. And they're like, oh, ugh, okay, I'm up. They're still dancing. The stone robot did the job. The stone robot did the job. If we have a son, we hope he's like you. Our union will help tie their villages together. Tuntar burned down, but we can rebuild it by dancing. Cool. Anyways, that was a nightmare-scape. But we did it. We're past One of the hardest bosses and barriers of the game. Let's see. Listen, burned down, nuked to the ground by a giant laser. Look, there's only so much they can do, okay? Okay. I'm curious of something, though. Hang on. What does the D-Kiss do? Oh, okay. Well, that's useless. No, I know. I'm debating if that boss fight is 2 or 3 negatives. And I'm actually quite torn on the point. It's definitely 2 minimum. I think 2 is the floor. Like, the fact that the second phase is just 900 HP while he's spamming AoE attacks at a point in the game where you're pretty much guaranteed to not have AoE heals is just mean. But it also commits the greatest sin of boss design. It's boring. You need proper training to break the seal. Okay. Sure. Well, what I'm debating is I'm trying to think of other triple negative bosses in my head to try and compare and contrast. This is the greatest game ever made, Savacom. As we know. That's not true. This is the second greatest game. Behind Lufia 1. Hang on, let me pull up my own audit sheet here really quick. So I'm trying to think of games that had triple negative bosses. Oh, you know what? I can think of one right off the top of my head. And I don't think this is that bad. This is still the best game of 2024. Think about it. Hang on, let me go check something really quick. Because there's a game we've already covered, which I think is applicable here, called Devil May Cry 2. Which got 0 story positives. That's so sad! Well, see, the problem is we haven't reviewed the burger boss yet. But we also have the possibility of going above 3 negatives, because again, it's 3 negatives per facet, right? Per concept. So, like, Burger Boss, the fact that it's a timed fight by itself, I think, is like a separate negative to the boss fight. My opinion. Then there's everything about the boss fight itself. So there's a pretty good chance Burger Boss will go up into 4 or 5 negative territory. Because that fight is awful. For example, the fight we just saw, I don't think it's going to break 3. There's no way. But here we go. Bosses! It's a good point, Sabacom. Cannot argue. That's what I thought. Yeah. 3 negatives. Boom. Triple negative. That's just wow. And on that bombshell, tomorrow at whenever we start, remember 9 a.m. is the soft start time now. Whenever we start tomorrow morning, we will continue this. I'll see you guys. Happy New Year's.